as we seek economic and social partnerships with ASEAN countries. I will propose the following building blocks for this partnership. First, building and expansion of transport, communication, energy, housing, and ICT infrastructure. Secondly, to facilitate mergers on collaborative arrangements between Asian companies and African companies, and promote linkages between micro, small, and medium, small-size enterprises on both sides of the Indian Ocean. To promote trade and investment between Kenya and Asia across the full spectrum of the economy and across the entire length of the value chain. And lastly, to collaborate in cultural exchanges, capacity building, information sharing as foundations for forging a new path of productivity and commerce. Indeed, today, I invite all of you to take advantage of the many trade and investment opportunities that Kenya and Africa offers within a framework of a stable and democratic nations, and also between Kenya and Singapore that offers a regional hub and gateway to Eastern also and Central African region, and indeed to the entire African continent. Finally, let me say that I am convinced that our collaboration can and will transform our economies and create greater shared prosperity for all our nations as we look forward to forging new partnerships. I today invite you to use Kenya as a gateway to the African continent. This is not only one of the top 10 fastest growing economies on the African continent, but it is also one of the most pro-business nations in that continent. Our country has improved dramatically in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index, jumping 107 places from our 2012 position to our present position of number 61 globally and third on the African continent. Kenya is also the leading country in sub-Saharan Africa in terms of ICT and technology penetration, fintech and financial inclusion, with our mobile cellular subscription currently standing at 95% of our population of more than 45 million. Kenya has learned to leverage on our strength in ICT and mobile cellular subscription to become the global leader in mobile money and mobile banking. Our world-famous M-Pesa mobile money platform has promoted financial inclusion in our country and provided a template for reaching conventionally unbanked populations across the region. Our potential for e-commerce and exciting new frontiers within this new economy have barely been scratched, and I invite willing business partners and investors to come in with us in these areas to access the vibrant Kenyan market as well as the wider continental market. As known, Asia is Kenya's second largest export destination, accounting for roughly 30% of our exports. Our balance of trade is in favor of Asia, with 66% of our imports originating from the region. And therefore, to bridge that roughly 36% of trade deficit, Kenya is also seeking to grow our exports into Asia through diversification of our product range, processing of natural produce before exports, and attracting Asian companies to special economic zones in Kenya that cater for products in demand in Asia, and broadening our reach into new Asian markets. Indeed, as Kenya seeks to attract business and investors from Asia and across the globe, we continue to make significant investments in both hard infrastructure such as roads, power, generation, ports, railways, communication networks, as well as our soft infrastructure such as strong governance institutions, fair and vibrant regulatory frameworks that are responsive to the need of modern business, a fair and independent judiciary, and commercial disputes arbitration systems, and an open, inclusive society that respects and defends fundamental freedoms and rights. This visit builds on a very successful Afro-Asian FinTech Festival that was held earlier this year, co-hosted by Kenya and Singapore in Nairobi, This festival brought together participants from Africa and Asia to forge partnerships and nurture thriving fintech ecosystems. In addition, the Monetary Authority of Singapore and the Central Bank of Kenya signed a fintech cooperation agreement to support digital infrastructure development in Kenya. These and other measures open the door for Singapore and other Asian countries to bridge the financing gap for Kenya's critical capital and infrastructure projects through their financial markets as well as private investors. It is my belief that fintech can play an important role in expanding economic opportunity in Africa and Asia, which together are home to 85% of the world's peoples and also home to some of the fastest growing economies in the world. More than 1/3 of all venture capital, fintech funding in the world was directed to Asia. And Asia was home to 6 of the world's 29 fintech unicorns, namely venture capital-backed private companies with valuations greater than US $1 billion. We seek to strengthen partnerships that tap into this market. The African Union approved recently a transformative agreement, notably the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. The agreement came into force on the 30th of May 2019 and entered into its operational phase on the 7th of July 2019. This will increase trade and investment opportunities exponentially. The African Continental Free Trade Area presents business and investments opportunities across a ready market with a total population of over 1.2 billion people and a market value of over US $29 trillion.